Lord. Yeah, so high time frames like really bullish,
Yep.
due to take this high at some point, which has happened last week. I think it was back end of last week or the week before. Um, but if you focus on like this last bullish leg, high time frame bullish leg here, so you'll probably get it under anyway, mate. You probably understand it. So what I don't know if you're aware of this rule that I use for structure. I always, whether I'm drawing this, so this
Yep.
roll, I'll turn it darker. I believe we should always be marking the previous swing. So this is all bullish here. I think we should include the bearish swing because what can kind of happen is you can get a lot of price action here and
Yep.
think you've got a change of character when sometimes you haven't.
Yep.
So just a little bit of general sort of like Goodman structure knowledge. Always include the previous because then you know when you've got it. And
Yep.
a good example of that, it was on GU a while back. I'll show you on here. This here. So now we're on the 2 hour. People would have been thinking this was your change of character here. Yeah, but it's not. It's obviously way up here because this is the high that puts in the low. So you don't
Yep.
get your change of character. So there's no trades in this until obviously price comes from way back. I mean, it takes it out anyway. So a little bit of useless structure knowledge for you. Not that you probably need to know it anyway. But
I like useless knowledge, mate. It's good.
yeah. Wins. Um. So anyway, for the last since April, basically, you know, DAX has been trending on the medium time frame, 15 minute, whatever you want to call it, trending beautifully. Yeah. So what I was dog shut the fuck. Um. What I was trying to do is fucking hell. Sorry, mate. My little. Yeah. Can
Can't hear it.
you hear her?
No.
Oh, good. She's crying, setting the dog off. And sorry about that, guys. It was fucking chaos. Um, yeah, so Dax has been trending beautifully anyway for the last 2, 3 months, whatever. Um, I was trying, because I was originally trying to buy it from this zone here, but it didn't quite make it, just for the fact that obviously, um, you see it's trending downwards. This is also why I like to include the last swing in the opposite direction. So it would have been, I'd have been here or thereabouts, to be fair. But I think I went with this one on that occasion, and then obviously it just didn't come back low enough. It might come
Always the way.
always the way, mate. And then so I,
or a little too low.
yeah, and then so I thought, well, that might have been the entry, the actual entry that it just didn't come from my entry zone kind of thing.
Yep.
So I was just figuring like if this is the new sort of area to possibly buy from, because possibly in here is what caused this high to be taken. You know, it kind of mitigated this area. I mean, it's a nice looking area to be fair. Obviously, it's taken liquidity as well. So we've got that as the low, and then obviously there's kind of an order block thing in here, just not on this time frame, but generally about how I'll be marking it. I'll flick through the time frames. Uh, yeah, Sun imbalance just about there, so maybe mark it about there. Or they try and get it a bit neater, so a bit cleaner looking. Maybe this is what it's filled in just here. You get the idea anyway. It's the bottom of the
Yep.
15-minute structure as a whole. Anyway, it's definitely in there. Looks like it's possibly created liquidity as well, which I didn't notice at the time, but we maybe got stuff like this going on. Get on the thing.
That's the thing with that magnet. It can bounce around, can't it?
If you zoom out, it's a pig. It is a pig, mate. Do you know if you zoom out and all the candles
Yeah.
start mushing into one?
Yeah.
But because I'm trying to always be accurate, it's kind of got to be done for me because otherwise I don't know if I'm counting it or not, you
Your
know.
OCD kicks in, man.
Yeah.
What was I seen. I didn't really see what the trade was. I seen George was on a gold something. Was it a sell or a buy?
Uh, Sell, I think it was. I think they was all looking at sell. So I've been looking at buys. So I
Yeah.
told them for weeks. I'll just finish this off quick anyway. Obviously, as you can
Yeah.
see, this is trending downwards here. We get a low, we get a high,
Mhm.
we get a low, and then obviously it gets taken. And it's just shy of my entry zone by
Yeah.
a little bit. I'll show you the entry zone anyway. I think I picked the right area as such. You know, it's
Just didn't quite make it.
yeah, it's
But out of the 20 feeds on the CFDs, I bet one of them did.
yeah. I mean, to me, that looks like it's tapped into nothing, and that was definitely the right looking zone.
Yeah,
You know,
100%.
it is what it is. It happens. It's not perfect, obviously. So yeah, I missed out on that the other day. It seems like I say, unless it comes back for it, I don't think it necessarily will. But it'd have been a decent banger. Obviously, the aim would have been to maybe have taken that high. You know,
That'd have been a beast, that would have.
yeah, it'd have been nice. So they've all been looking at sells now.
Done a bit
Uh,
of a push up today.
yeah, so
Must have took them out.
I think George actually caught the bottom of this. Of course he would have. Um, but I don't really know where from as such. I don't know. Yeah, I don't really know, Matt. I don't know why he's.
Yeah, yeah.
It don't meet my rules, but that don't mean
Yeah.
he's got his own way of
Yeah,
doing
no, yeah, yeah, no,
certain
definitely.
things.
I've seen some of his stuff where he uses the 1 second time frame for
Yeah,
liquidity and stuff like
yeah,
that. So it's I mean
yeah.
it works for him, so it's all that matters, isn't it?
Yeah, 1 second trend lines, mate, is where it's at apparently. So.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mate, you have to start getting down to this half seconds, man.
Yeah.
So, all
So
right.
yeah.
I suppose do you know what I was looking at? So remember last week we was talking about USD CAD
Yes, mate. Yeah, yeah,
and uh, obviously structurally where it is,
yeah,
it's nowhere near putting like 4 hour lows. It's miles away.
yeah,
But if you have a look at it at the moment, it's reacted off. It has reacted off an area which is obviously a supply area that looks like a supply area to
yeah,
me anyway.
yeah,
Um, and then just the most recent structure on it. So,
yeah,
as if you have a quick glance over that, tell me what you think. Obviously, look on the 4 hour, and you'll see
yeah,
what it's hit. I mean, it's hit a pretty prominent area, which it's not quite a pullback because fucking the swing is massive.
yeah.
It's in the middle of nowhere for you.
It's in a it's in a tricky position. I like. I mean, it sounds dead blunderly and cliche, but it could
It'll have an up or
go
down
either
from here.
way. So, yeah, it could go either way. So we've got a structure going on here from
Hmm.
like obviously we pull back here.
Yep.
So we've got a possible bearish structure here. The What this is tapped into is possibly the cause of that being taken. So why it could go both ways is obviously I'll draw on this so it's obvious for anyone to see. Like this high gets taken,
Yep.
that's possibly the cause there.
Yep.
Wrong. And then it obviously is mitigated something in that sort of area
Yeah.
and we reacted
I,
out.
I had that as a point of interest marked up.
Yeah,
Obviously, it hit it, and then it has on the lower time frames. It has sort of change character,
yeah,
but maybe not how you would mark it. Like, but
yeah.
not on the 15, but on the low, like the 1 minute,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So and
it's
then the
given a change character and I think break a structure as well. But I don't know. I feel like it's in the middle of nowhere. Hard
yeah.
one.
So,
I think
yeah,
it's
even
complete.
like the highest time frame. The Because it's taken the high and then the low, both sides since obviously the beginning of time or whatever.
Yeah,
You know, generally I'd say that like, the last one that was taken is your overall direction. So if that, with that being said, it's we're in that top sort of percentile for massive fucking trades, but that could be a liquidity sweep of everything, and and then
Yeah.
just continue higher as well. But so
You
yeah,
know,
higher time frame, mate.
mm,
We're anywhere. But like, if we get onto the next structure, we're kind of making bullish swings on that. Let me just turn the magnet off. Because like the way I kind of do it is you'd let's say include that last one.
yep.
Kind of make the biggest structure you can, kind of thing, and then work down from that. So let's say that's daily or weekly or whatever. So we've got structures going on in here. Yeah. I mean, this is my 4 hour, so we are kind of,
Oh, just below
just,
halfway.
yeah, no man's land, to be honest, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we've had a possible change to the upside. So because this leg here is the current live 4 hour, like I say, it's a bit of a mess this, so it's not easy to to break down. But so 4 hour you'd say is still bullish because we haven't taken the low, and the previous ones was bullish still. So, still technically bullish on that. We've possibly had a 15-minute break to the upside. So this could tap anywhere into this and then maybe retrace. It could take the high and then retrace. But generally, what I would sort of say we're looking for now is because it's taken this high that we spoke about first of all,
Yep.
that one there, mate. I would say we are aiming to come back into something in the bottom of all this leg here. So ideally, bottom 25%. We're currently at that. But this doesn't mean that this is the high of the 15-minute
Yeah.
structure. This could just be like a decent 1 minute pullback and continue. So this scan box could essentially say by the end of the week could be up here and you know, but it don't wouldn't change much. We was all kind of trying to buy from down here anyway, so this it could be the start of the pullback. It could just be what I would class as like say my 1 minute because I don't think it's that big of a pullback, is it? Sensing candles. Yeah, take that off. So I don't really see much of that as anything other than lower time frame structure. It's I think because this is such one big long push, it's quite difficult to actually try.
Yeah. Piece of a push, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, when I look at it on here, like I said, that's one 15-minute leg for me. I know it's massive and I'm on the 1 hour, but there's no substantial pullbacks. And in theory, like I say, if that was the high I wanted taken anyway, I mean, I had it a lot lower anyway, so I've been expecting it to come back for a while anyway, but whether it's that one or the one slightly to the left, um, yeah, I'd like to start seeing some pullbacks, but I kind of want it to break this order block where it's tapped now anyway, before I even think about like something like that, you know.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, it's all just one big blended push. So, and then I mean, what we could do, mate, is we can try and spot. I mean, there's a decent push from up here as well, so you'd kind of expecting it to go a bit higher as well. Just not keen. It
No,
really
no, no, yeah.
is the best thing. And like I say, I mean, I've had this. I mean, this is an old setup. We could get a real, we could be, I mean, we are getting a reaction out of that sort of area anyway from a previous trade. So that could be the, that could be the cause that brings it all the way back down here as well, you know. So yeah, we're in the middle of no man's land for me, mate. So me personally, I would avoid, but Yeah, I mean, you guys are only after a reaction anyway, aren't you? So
pretty much. Yeah.
yeah. So have you got a structure for this at the minute? Because this has
Mhm.
recent, like I say, this yesterday,
Yeah, I'd
Monday,
marked
Monday,
out.
Tuesday, 10th.
What was I marked on? I think it was on the 5 minute where you are now, anyway. But yeah, it was just I mapped out a bit of structure. Obviously, that's that break there.
Yeah,
That's it. That's it. That's what I've done.
yeah.
And then it's broke to the upside there.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. I'd say
but
that's
I mean, like I say, it's internal to other structure really. But
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Well, yeah, I mean, if you had that, mate, what I would say is that. So let me have a.
it's probably because right, yeah, there's some equal highs at the top there, and I tried to take them out twice a couple of weeks ago when it was up there, and I lost on both trades.
Yeah.
So they kind of owe me something. So I feel like I need to get them.
Equal
So
highs where?
I'm pretty sure from where it pulled back from. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah. Well, it's not on mine, but
Yeah, it's not as clean up there, is it?
you would maybe count that though. So
No, I think they were a lot cleaner than that.
yeah, it looked terrible on this feed, but like I say, it's each feed's slightly different. So
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
mm, yeah, yeah, and it'd be a no from me on whether it's liquidity.
You imagine how much better trading would be if it was like regulation that everyone has to provide data off the same feed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
all the brokers, no matter who, they have to use that like it's statutory, like it's
yeah,
compulsory that you are supplying live data the exact same as everybody else
yeah.
and it's regulated.
Can't be manipulated.
Yeah, could you imagine that?
Yeah,
Oh, it'd be heaven, wouldn't it?
yeah, it would. Yeah, yeah, it definitely would. Yeah, I mean that looks like a pretty decent trend line for me. Maybe no, it's short. How did I change that? Didn't change it. See how accurate we've got to get, mate. Got to zoom right in, and
Yeah,
I mean that doesn't show us even a pipette, so that's a pipette there. So that's a clean trend line as far as I'm concerned.
yeah,
So what we've had is obviously we've had a sweep and then a break to the upside. So that could indicate that we might drop down to somewhere in this sort of area here, mate. So
yeah. I've marked that I've marked that area up on like the lower 25% up to that first imbalance. I think
yeah,
it's
that one
I've
there.
marked out. So I was just going to see what happens when price comes back to that one again.
Yeah,
Um, if that area, I don't. I haven't looked into it too deep, man. I just put some structure on the chart
yeah,
because, again, like I say, I'm not really looking for the massive swings like you are. I'm really looking
yeah.
for where, like, better trade opportunities for
Hmm.
because the chances are it is going to come back down to that, and it probably would react off something in there,
Yeah,
enough to get a 2, 3, 4% trade. Depending on what your stop loss is like, but and then it probably could turn around and carry on doing what it wants to do. But it's just seemed like an area that I seemed could potentially be
yeah,
nice to trade off short trades.
yeah. Well,
We'll see.
my guess would be there, mate. That's somewhere maybe just a smidge higher. So at the minute, I'm more in favor of these BPRs on the lower time frame.
Yep.
So I think on this occasion, that would be my entry. It's hard to say about this. You don't know what this is because it's not there. So,
Yeah.
but if you, um, it's probably if you're testing, mate. If you find yourself a bit bored, so I'm like I said, this is obviously there's a bit of imbalance in here. I'd be more inclined to leave that now because I think price is actually coming for the BPRs in it all. So, but I mean proper BPRs. It's not
Uh huh.
because we've got loads of. Uh, I mean, I won't be able to find them now, but I've got a load of examples where there's just shy of entry, but then if you really break it down, like the BPR is what's being filled a lot of the time. So yeah,
I do.
yeah. It's worth looking at, mate, and keeping a log of kind of thing, and
Absolutely.
yeah. Yeah, that there is my guess, mate. It stays within the current like 1 minute bullish structure that we've just made. We've kind of got imbalance above here as well, haven't we? And to the upside, so we've got what looks like a good trend line here. Is a case for that caused it. So we pull out, mitigate, break here. I would say we're within a very good reason that we would suggest that we are coming above this here, which is just above the zone it's reacted off.
Yep.
Reason I'll say that, mate, is because, right, so we've got liquidity build up. Yeah.
Yep.
We get a slight pullback after the last touch.
Yep.
We then take the trend line liquidity. So taken to the right of this,
Yep.
let me just draw that on so that people watch it back and go, what did that mean? So to the left of that is not basically not taken. It is here, but anything after to the right of the line is a possible return to the zone. Obviously, we return, take the low, return higher though. So because this one here comes back higher than this one, this is the new tapping into the zone. Then that means that the break from here, this, after that tapping it then retakes the low. So not a change of character because it puts prints a new low if that makes sense.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, there's possibly, I mean, that's possibly a setup. It's possibly coming back in to mitigate something in here that caused this break. So yeah, there's very good reason to believe it's coming at least a touch higher than it is to mitigate that. Now, obviously that's not guaranteed. It's not a trade I'm going to put on because
Yep.
it's not the best, it's not the cleanest, but technically that's like how I view like a continuation type setup. So you know. And again, if I was going to mark it, I'd probably like mark it like that at the minute because we've got a bit of BPR. It's a tiny amount, but that's a possibility. It's in the area that we would count. Now, for anyone that knew the watches is about BPR, it's literally just a sharp push up and a push down or vice versa, but they've got to line through. So, um, like this is a good example here. So I know you'll know this, Tom, but I'll do it for everyone else. So that candle there, uh, this candle. That candle there with a down push. No, it's not. Sorry, it's the one to the right, left, right. Big up push here. Yeah, body. Uh, then that candle's the opposite way. Obviously, big down push, body open. You know, but as we can see, and I was kind of getting to support and resistance a little bit here, which I'm fuming about, right? But I think it's probably where they get it from. I think it's where the support and resistance guys get it from. They just don't quite realize maybe what's actually being seen on the lower time frame, doesn't it? So purple box is a BPR because it's a full body. So we get a wick down into cut half it off at some point. But then as you see at the flip side, this is why I'm more along the lines of BPRs at the minute. If you see here, it fills the BPR perfectly, leaves some imbalance, but it's filled the BPR and then it goes. So this obviously it's to the dot as well, so that wouldn't actually tack you in a trade because it's so tight. But if you've had all your previous confirmations are left, and then you're just looking purely for an entry in this kind of area. Like I said, this is now what I'm looking for. So my entry would have been probably something like that nowadays. But again, like I say, that wouldn't have tapped you in. So, and then you could kind of start to see that everywhere if you start actually looking for it. But I mean, it's not easy to, you kind of get it a bit here, a little bit. You get a big up push, big down push. It gets filled almost level from that wick there. So it's kind of, not quite exactly perfect that occasion, but yeah, it's I'm all along that lines, and that's like as we was sort of saying, there's a good reason it might come up that sort of way. I don't see anything particularly interesting above that. That's spread hour, so that's don't count. The only thing it might happen is so obviously as spread hour started, obviously at this sort of candle here, the price hasn't come back to it yet. No, it doesn't. I don't think it technically has to, but the highest it's come back is there, so there's possibly a bit of a void in the market to fill in there because nothing happened in this price. It like jumped from one spot to the other spot from closed in New York and then opening in Tokyo. If Yeah, so that I definitely think it's coming a touch higher, mate. So buys are probably in your favour for your lot.
Sweet, full port then.
Yeah, that's it. All out,
Wanted
buy
to
it.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sweet. All right, mate. I'm gonna shoot off anyway.
All right, mate. No worries. Enjoy.
And you, don't be so mean to me in the chat.
Hey, did you see your Roy Keane thing I posted?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's a wet. See you
I,
later.
I'm laughing that much at me own. I nearly laughed at it myself.
I do that all the time, to be honest with you, mate.
Yeah, I thought I can't do that. Yeah.
See
All
you
right.
later, you
Catch you in
knobhead.
a bit. See you in a bit, mate. Right, just me now. Let's have a look at wrong one. GBP AUD. Go ahead and trying to sell this at the minute. So obviously it's tapped into like this box right because I think it's on high. Then so price has tapped into this 15-minute high area. It's top 25-ish%. Now we've had a sort of change of character on here. So we've got this here. It's just whether your class is a pullback or not. A little bit on the dubious side. Um, but not all the swings are going to be big, and not all of them are going to be tiny. There's going to be a mixture of all of it, kind of thing. So a real possibility that is the change of character. Uh, we'll see. But yeah, I think there's a possible sell from in this somewhere in there. I haven't really had a proper look for an entry zone yet, so uh, we'll do that. Mm. Going to highlight some of the 1 minute areas to begin with, eliminate some areas. Let's mark it open. So Check some blue. Now all I'm doing is so there's decent push down from there. Obviously the one lower I'm at is a little decent area push from there, but it's been filled by the looks of it. Um, so I'm just trying to highlight some of the better looking areas on, say, the 1 minute for now, and then I'm gonna drop even lower and see if any of them look decent, and maybe try and pick an entry for a trade that's coming up. Hopefully tomorrow, maybe, who knows? That one looks dog shit on the 10 seconds, so that one's going. Again, BPR filled perfectly. So down put push, huge down push. So BPR's there. See that wick back up just stops it being BPR. Price might come and fill that imbalance anyway. Not quite. Possible BPR. See if it fills that. Not quite taps into it. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Do need to change out the right colour so I don't look onto the screen later and wonder what the hell's going on. That's about filled anyway, that imbalance. So all ass. Bad looking area. Down push, slight up push. BPR can build to the dot maybe. Very much. That looks like BPR there. Filled to the dot. Yeah. That's why I'm more leaning that way these days. Uh, see that. Again, up push, down push. So we've got BPR there. check this on the 5 second as well. Now, obviously, I'd advise if anyone checks this and decides they're happy that that's where they want to be for their entry, I'd always recommend being covering the high. I probably won't because with also I think there's a pip and a half spread on, or about at least a pip spread on that. I think 4 spreads, so that'll be about four-ish for me anyway. So that'll be allowed for spreads. You just want to check that there's nothing up here that is not actually going to come for that. It might come for, say, a bit of imbalance of BPR in there, saying that would obviously spreads would take you out. So I'll check that again soon. But I like the look of this area. Um, is that the high there? The overall high? No, just checking because I don't really check it normally myself. But these lower time frame trend lines, that there. Short of here, but that might not be even a pipette. So do that one phased away. Yeah, see, pipette registers there. So I mean, I would say that's obviously a perfect trend line on the 10 second. It's very possibly a good entry there. Um, keeps edging a bit higher. Not keen on that. This is okay. Again, it's so we don't get a BPR here, but I think it's because this takes it out. This takes out that imbalance, and then that frees up price to make that drop. So you see that often that it does it so it can't have a BPR. I don't know why. Mm. Can't figure that out as well because then I'll just know everything and life would be boring. So full of myself, it's unbelievable. Is that spread here? If it is, I don't know if what day is that? Friday, Sunday market open. From there, Sunday. I think that's technically the highest price action. You see, it's tapped into something beautifully. So from there, taps into that. Let's have a look in. Just takes out that one. Nice push from here. Deserves a check on the 5 second. Um, that's a bar replay here. No imbalance on the live side. Decent up push on the other side. Just scanning all this. See what that like. That's the high of it. I'm not sure that tapped into that little orange box. It doesn't find. Ah, it's got some more to the left. I'll check that later. Can't be asked. So, just check these others on the 5 second. Um, looks all right. Could get a decent reaction. Could come a touch higher than that though. Best, well, fills that there. Definitely my favourite area of the view that we met. Mm, maybe, probably not wrong. Fine. Yeah, I think that other one that we matched is my favourite. I can't say I'm too keen on where it is, but s- yeah, I have to think that one. But like I say, it's quite low in the leg, so no. So what I was checking was, sorry, is figured if that was the last touch of a trend line, that would kind of maybe insinuate that this is the area that caused it. I can't make out. So I mean, there's not too much above it anyway, so Yeah, that's my favourite. So I'll probably stick my own one there. So there's lower time frame liquidity. We do go on and take the 1 minute low, possible 1 minute low, although that's on the iffy side. So don't definitely do not over risk. I'd prefer if it come and took this low first and then come back, but this kind of does meet the rules, but not the best. I'm gonna call it there anyway, guys. There's no one on, so I'm just literally talking for the sake of it. So stop it there.